Hello, welcome to another episode of Meet the Experts. My name is Jay Vix, your host, and after looking at my guest today, and I call myself an entrepreneur. We're gonna talk to an entrepreneur today. Um, Look, I run one business. He's involved in many. But Meet the Experts. What is Meet the Experts? Well, it's just a web video series, basically. I mean, people refer to it as a podcast, right? Everybody thinks of these interviews that we all listen to or watch these days, or podcasts. We call ourselves the anti-podcast. We're really not. We're really just giving a platform to a business owner or executive or entrepreneur or thought leader, whatever you may have, anyone with a business product or service to talk about. We give them that platform. Nice, easy way. We have a great conversation. Let our guests talk about who they are and what they do and what makes them great and what do people talk about with them and ask them all the time. And then we package it up and we just give it to the person, the guest, right? So it's free. Yes, free. I know you were thinking that. How much does that cost? No, free. Give it to you and let you use it in your marketing. We're not a traditional podcast. We don't care how many downloads we get. We don't even upload it to all the podcast platforms. We just do this as a video service. And if you stick around till the end of the episode, which is going to be really easy to do because the guest today is going to be fantastic, I will tell you how you can be a future guest on Meet the Experts. So stick around. I promise at the end of the episode, I will tell you how you can be a guest. Meet the Experts is fully powered by our all-in-one marketing software and customer relationship management tool, Journey Builder. Journey Builder is for you if you are tired of managing all the marketing tools or just being confused with all the different things out there. You got MailChimp for your emails, you got HubSpot for this, you got this for that, and this for that, and none of them talk. So Journey Builder, we powered the entire podcast by Journey Builder. So if you want to learn more about that, stick around. You can always email me as well. But now I'm going to turn our attention to today's guest, which is the most important part of today. Today's guest is Donny Minchillo. Donny has been an entrepreneur since he was 19 years old, and it just has kind of snowballed from there in the best way possible. So I'm going to let him talk all about that with you. And Donny, hi, how are you today? I hope all is well.
Jay, thanks for having me. Everything's wonderful.
Awesome. I'm so looking forward to doing this episode because I know we spoke a little while back kind of about a little bit just to kind of get to know you before we said we'd do the episode. Now, for you, you started very young. So let's just kind of go back to that. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about you and what you do?
Sure. If we may go back to when I was 19 years old, I had gone to college for 3D animation and game design. I was passionate about creating 3D models, animating things, and I even had the opportunity to work on an Xbox game, which for me was a really cool experience in the city, in New York
Nice.
City. Yeah. And unfortunately, at the time, I was in the country illegally, so it was very difficult to find a job. So I had to find my way and figure things out on how I was going to pay my bills, how I was going to make money. And I decided, I heard this thing called eBay back then, and I decided to list an item and it sold. And that's how my entrepreneur journey started.
That's awesome. Now I also know you, but even before that, like it started before that, and you mentioned you weren't from the country. Tell us a little bit kind of about some of the places you've been and the things you've done.
Sure. Yeah. When I was 16 years old, I moved from Brazil. I was born in Brazil, moved to New York, Westchester County, went to high school in New Rochelle, if people know where New Rochelle is. I ended up in LA for a couple of years. From there, went to Detroit, Michigan. From Detroit, ended up in Chicago. My wife now, her dream was to live in Chicago. And the place was just way too cold for us. We didn't last long. We had a couple of winters of negative 30 degrees, and we just like, okay, we got to get out here. It's an amazing city, great food, but we like the warm weather, the beach. So we decided, why don't we just go somewhere outside the country? So we decided to sell everything we had, pack all of our bags, bring our pet lab mix with us, and we decided to go to Costa Rica. So
Oh,
we were in Costa Rica for almost 4 years, had an amazing time there, met amazing people. And now we live in St. Pete, Florida. We've been here for 5 years now.
fantastic. That's some wild experiences. I've been to Costa Rica. I was in Costa Rica about 8 or 9 years ago, I suppose. Maybe it's probably longer than that now. We were in Tamarindo, I believe is
That's
where we were.
where we that's where we lived,
That was
right
it.
in.
I
Yeah.
saw Guanacaste on the thing, and I was like, well, we were in Tamarindo, and I think that was the province we were in, but that's cool. Yeah, we loved it. And a friend of mine does a retreat there every year called the Commitment Summit, and they do it. I'm not sure where in Costa Rica, but it's in Costa Rica, and I want to go just to go back. My wife probably wanted to go back more than I did, but I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Um,
It's a beautiful
it,
place.
it is. It was hard to. It was hard to. It's. I can't zip line anywhere else now. Because one of the things you don't want to tell yourself you're just at like a zip line park. No, you're actually zip lining through the actual rainforest.
Yeah.
Um, and then we tried to do it on a cruise where we had gotten off in Mexico somewhere, and we went to a zip line park, and I was like, this is awful. Like,
Different
that
experience.
yeah, I crushed I did the ultimate ziplining experience, and now nothing will ever be the same. All
I
right.
think I might have gone to the same zip lining place that you went, and you're so high up, you see these huge trees below you,
Yes.
and you're going. I don't know how fast you're going, but it's an amazing experience. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I was going down one platform to the other, and I looked to my right, and there's like this massively gorgeous waterfall that was probably
Mm.
60, 70 feet high. And I'm just cruising right past this waterfall, and I'm like, this is amazing. Probably talk about that, probably do a whole nother podcast for Costa Rican travel. Um, but let's talk about your of what you do now. So I know you're entrepreneurial and you like to buy and sell businesses. So let's talk a little bit about what are some of those things that you do and who do you serve?
Yeah, so I currently own a web development agency focused on e-commerce. We mainly do Magento development, but we also do Shopify. I've had that company for almost 8 years now. I also own a residential cleaning business here in St. Pete, Florida. We have a little over 20 employees there. The company has been growing so fast. It's been an amazing experience. And we Airbnb our Airstream in our backyard. And I also am involved in acquisitions, business acquisitions, and looking to acquire residential and commercial cleaning businesses, as well as landscaping, plumbing, electrical businesses. And I'm working on a couple acquisitions right now.
That's amazing. So you found home services to well you do commercial too, but with all the different businesses, are you doing commercial and residential, or do you just kind of stay on that commercial side? What's best?
Actually, the joy of cleaning is mainly residential. I'm currently in the process of acquiring a more of a commercial cleaning business.
Very, very cool. All right, no, that makes sense. So, all right, look, you've been in business a long time. Different businesses, many businesses, right? But and how long have you had Joy of Cleaning now? You said
For just 4 years,
four
a little
years.
over four
Okay,
years. Hmm.
all right. Let's just go right there. Let's talk about Joy of Cleaning for a minute. You don't stay in business for 4 years. You don't even stay in business for a year if you're not doing something good that's making somebody happy. Has anybody is there that one testimonial or client win or customer win that just when you get up in the morning makes you feel good about what you do and keeps you going that you've gotten over the last 4 years?
It's a funny question because I was thinking about that, and we actually, fun fact, within 4 years, we became the cleaning business in St. Pete with the most Google reviews in St. Petersburg, Florida. We started pretty much from zero. It was me and two employees 4 years ago. We were doing about $8,000 a month. Now we're doing over $90,000 a month, close to $100,000 a month. And the most valuable testimonial that I believe that I have received is not from clients because we receive them quite a bit, is from our team. For me, it's so fulfilling when one of our team members say to me, "I love my job." I Another employee told me, "I had a nightmare yesterday, Donnie, that I had lost my job. Please, I want to, what can I do? Am I doing enough?" Another employee came to me the other day and said, "I want to work for this company forever. We're doing cool stuff all the time. We're changing things. We're working on new projects." So these testimonials, they mean so much to me.
That, yeah. Do you play golf at all?
I don't regularly, but I have.
All right. In golf, and I've said this on the show many, many times, in golf, you can be a terrible golfer like me. And, but every round, you'll hit at least one, sometimes three, four, five, but there's always the one shot that keeps you coming back. Like you just hit this shot so good that you're like, this is why I come out and play golf. You forget about the other 99 or 100 shots that you hit that day, that one shot that keeps you coming back. And that's why I love that. For you, it sounds like you're building one heck of a company culture, and that your team really cares, because you're always going to be your number one team member, but to have team members that just have that drive to be that love being part of your team, I think is very, very cool and very exciting.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. It's funny. So many
yeah.
people come to me and they say, "How do you keep your employees? How do you find great people?" And the simple answer is take care of your team, take care of the people. They're the ones that actually do the work. They're the ones communicating with your clients. They're the ones doing the work. So I think if all companies focused on their team, they would be successful.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I just came back from a week in Dallas, and I was at a couple of different events, and some of the topics were on building teams, right? I mean, there's some stuff on scaling, some stuff on tech, some stuff on this and that. But one of the things that came up a few times was building teams. And the number one tip, you're right in the zone, because the number one tip was, look, we treat our team members really good, they're going to treat us good in return. You take care of your team and they'll stay. You take care of your team and they'll learn. You take care of your team and they'll grow, right? And it's all about just providing that safe place and comfortable place where they can thrive, right? And have a good place to go.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. I love this question. Not because I wrote it, because I wrote all the questions, but I love this question because I always get different, really cool, unique perspectives, and there's always a common underlying theme or thread. I'm not going to tell you what that is. You'll probably already know it, but we call it earned it, learned it, improved your authority. Now we've talked a little bit about your background to this point, but to be in the business acquisition space or the web development space or the joy of cleaning, the home cleaning space, what's your education background been like? Or has there been titles or certifications you've needed, or how have you gotten here from an educational standpoint?
Most of my education is, apologize for that.
The joy
Harvey
of recording.
Right. Yeah. Harvey wants to be in an interview. Um, my Most of my education comes from the street, comes from doing it. I wake up at 5. I'm at the office by 6. I realized that there's nothing better than actually putting in the work. There's just so much involved in actually doing the work, being in it, having conversations, not just with your clients, but with your employees, having meetings, coming up with new ideas, implementing them. That those are the certifications. It's cool to receive an award from here. You're the best cleaning service here. Being interviewed by different magazines, and they post the interview. But I think inside, knowing that you're doing the work,
Mm-hmm.
doing the things that matter to you, and you're doing what you enjoy, that is the most important thing in my life. And I think having the realization that you're building something that might remain long after I'm gone, it's really cool. And now that I'm getting more involved in the acquisition space, to be able to partner or to help entrepreneurs on how to grow their businesses, or if they want to sell their business, it's super rewarding to me. So I'm really excited about this new phase, but nothing replaces putting in the work.
I love that. The theme was that School of Hard Knocks, learning it on the streets by actually doing it, seems to be the best education possible. Um, and look, this is where I think you might be about episode 90 at this point. We're getting close to our 100th, and we're getting close to the end of the year, so we got something cool planned for that. But I know that one of the themes I'm going to talk about we're going to do our best of episode for number 100, and I want to take clips, like our favorite clips and moments from doing the show. Now, you said Harvey was your lab, is that right?
Yeah,
Harvey's
pet lab.
probably going
Yeah.
to make the show for just like what can
Oh,
happen on a
perfect.
recording. So that'll be great. But also, like all the different guests that have said, and will never like poo poo on a college education or a degree. I mean, it can be awesome. It can really help you get ahead in life. But most of the entrepreneurs I speak with, they all say, look, my best education has been doing the actual work. And I love that answer. So I'm so glad you kind of made that the theme as well. But all right, I've got two more questions for you. I'm going to kind of change gears here a little bit. I mean, you could answer professionally if you want to, or personally, or both. But Donnie, I'm just going to ask you straight out. Tell us something you're truly thankful for.
Oh man, there's so much to be thankful for. May I tell you a little story that a conversation that I had the other day?
Please.
I started a conversation with someone that owns an eBay business, extremely successful. He is projected to do a little over $4 million this year. And after a couple of conversations, I knew that he used to be a professional motocross rider back in the day. And through the conversation, I realized, and he didn't bring it up in the beginning, that he was paraplegic and that he had an accident at 19 years old. And for me, I've always been so grateful and thankful for the life that I have, just to have the family I have, the opportunity to work on the things I work on. But the little things, right? The little things, to be able to walk, to make your own food, to hold your baby, right? Most people forget about these things. And as I'm talking to this gentleman, this guy, just unbelievable person. He is interested in selling his business because him and his wife decided to have a baby and she's pregnant. And when he told me that he was paraplegic and that they were about to have a baby, for me, it was just like a huge reminder. Wow, like I'm breathing right now. I am doing this podcast. I am on my computer. I'm typing. I can walk. I can hold my baby. I can take her to places. I can walk on the beach. Um, the little things. So grateful for everything, to be breathing, to be walking, to be working, to be talking to people, to be able to do what I do every day, to be here with you. I would like, if I may put in a request for everybody listening, remember the little things that you do every day, the breakfast when you go eat your breakfast, be able to make your own food. Those things matter so much and they're so important to you. So I'm grateful for the most basic things, to having my own home, owning multiple businesses. And every day I thank the universe for allowing me to enjoy what I have, to enjoy my ability to just live, right? To be here in this planet. And I hope that one day I can touch, the lives of 1,000 people or 1 million people, who knows? But I'm grateful for so many things, everything.
Yeah, it sounds like it's awesome. What a awesome awesome story, like beautifully touching story about the motocross guy, the paraplegic that's going to be a dad soon, which is just
Yeah.
it's killer. Like that's a great story, and it does. I think like as you said it, I was even thinking about like yeah, I mean some days just pouring a bowl of breakfast for my 8-year-old daughter, like I need to hold on to those moments. And that's something like there's so many things just in that I could be grateful for, like the ability to do it, all the things that lead to just being able to do it, but also the fact that like she's going to grow up really, really quick. I mean, I'm looking at how, getting to 8-year-old, having an 8-year-old is mind blowing because it seems like yesterday when she was, just a year old. And it's yeah, so much, right? So I think that's awesome, just being able to do it, and you don't want these moments are going to only last for a certain period of time, so you got to hold on to certain moments as well. So
I'm glad you brought up your daughter, because last night, this is what happened last night, and my wife and I, we were having dinner with her, and I tend to be the type of person that likes to have things organized and clean. And well, I have a 14-month-old daughter,
okay,
right? And
all right.
nothing is 14-month, not a 14-year-old, and nothing is clean, right? It's a mess everywhere, food everywhere, especially during dinner, right? And my wife said something that I didn't realize, and it was such a awakening moment for me, actually, a realization where she we were eating pasta, and she, she's just eating pasta with her hands. She's just putting, there's mushrooms and tomatoes everywhere, and then I'm like, oh my god, like, like I start cleaning her hand, and she said something, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clean her first. And she said, well, what really mattered, I didn't want to get my shirt dirty for whatever reason, right? And she said, getting your shirt dirty is the most important thing, because this will not happen again. In a year from now, 6 months from now, you will remember the shirt that she got dirty versus, sometimes doing other things with your daughter. And I'm like, oh my god, come over here, get that tomato sauce all over my shirt.
I love that
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Man, this has been fun. Donny, I've really appreciated having you on today. And this one this is the part of the recording where, I mean, it's so critical. We get asked the same questions over and over and over again in our business. Now, you could do this if you're getting asked it from people who are looking to sell their business that you might want to acquire. You could do it in the cleaning business. You could use it for whatever you want. I'll let you answer however you wish because it's your video. But every business has frequently asked questions that people ask, right? Customers, potential customers, prospects, people they're talking to. I'm sure there's some questions you get asked over and over and over again. So if I were to say, hey, let's right now make a 2-minute video that answers like the number one question you get on a daily basis, I'll let you kind of finish it from there, and then we'll wrap up.
I touched on this a little earlier, and the question I get asked the most is, how do you find people? How do you keep great people in your team? That is the question I ask the most. And as I mentioned, Jay, take care of your people, pay them better. Oh, I don't have enough cash, or, there's not enough money. Charge more, charge more for the services that you provide, provide better services, sell better products, charge more, and then you're able to pay your people better. Provide them with pay time off, with benefits. You will see the results very, very quickly, and you'll see your clients give you feedback on how things have changed once you take care of your employees, because they're the ones, as I mentioned, they're the ones doing the work. They're the one interacting with your clients. And our role as entrepreneurs and business owners, right, is to lead, is to guide, to help them thrive. So be there for them, pay them well, give them bonuses, let them take some time off. They need it, right? And that would be my feedback.
That is really, really good feedback. That is some good stuff that any entrepreneur, any business owner, and those are usually people that are on the show and watch the show. It's a great answer to have for that, and definitely one for the highlight reel. Donny, I think you gave me several good highlights for our highlight reel, which is great. I really do appreciate you having on today, and I look forward to staying in touch with you because we have some common threads that we could talk about, whether it's Girl Dad or just some of the stuff we talked about with our software tool, and I think it'd be good to keep in touch. So thanks again for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jay. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Stick around backstage. I'll be right with you. All right. That was awesome. I just love doing this so much that, when I started Meet the Experts, I was like, well, this would be a cool way to give people the video content they want. And it has been. And then people were like, well, that's a really silly business model, giving away free video content. And I was like, that's not the point, really. We have lots of ways that we can make money, and we love making referrals and having referrals come to us. And that's one really big advantage of being a guest on Meet the Experts is I get to meet you, I get to know you, and eventually, it's a great way. I provide some value to you, and then who knows, maybe next week you'll be talking to a business owner and they're like, hey, I need help with my digital marketing, or I need, this piece, I need a new booking calendar for my business, or email, whatever it is. And then we've established that relationship. So and likewise, I'm talking to business owners on this show all the time, and I have referred people to past guests, or I've referred past guests to people who were looking for what they had. So it's a great win-win, and I learned my whole life and perspective on life has changed from doing these past 90 episodes, that I often draw back on things I heard and things I said, right? I'll probably remember the tomato sauce on the shirt now as like something to be like, yeah, you don't get those moments over again, right? So those little nuggets I carry with me. So I told you if you stuck around to the end, I would tell you how you can be a guest, future guest on Meet the Experts, right? So all you have to do is go to www.meettheexpertspodcast.com. That's Meet the Experts with an S, podcast.com. Fill out the form, read all about it, learn all about it. There is a way if you're not good with video editing or you're not skilled with that and you need some help chopping those videos up afterwards for social media or for email, there is a paid package if you need help, and it's really just a video production package. My team is happy to do that for you. It's very, very affordable. But like I said, the video, the giving you the video, that's all free. The interview, all of it it doesn't cost anything. It's a tremendous value for both of us. And yeah, I would hope that you would, if you think you'd be a good guest, come on and check it out. Even if you think you might not be a good guest, but you have a product or service you're trying to tell people about, just come on. It's fun. We'll have a good time, I promise. Anyway, next episode is coming up again really soon. And for now, Jay Vix with Meet the Experts podcast, powered by Journey Builder. Try to do something nice for someone else tomorrow. How about that? And be good to one another. Talk to